Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. In half an hour from now, Chennai Super Kings will take on Sunrisers Hyderabad at the D.Y. Patil Stadium. And the news from the D.Y. Patil Stadium is that Sunrisers Hyderabad have won the toss and have opted to field first yet again. So teams going for that strategy of chasing. That is Ravindra Jadeja versus Kane Williamson. Sunrisers have won the toss and they've opted to field first. The good news for both these teams is that there are 2 points up for grabs because they've not been able to win a single game so far. Sunrisers have made 2 changes in Shashank Singh, who comes in, and Marco Jansen has also been brought in. Shashank Singh comes in place of Abdul Samad, who was retained by Sunrisers Hyderabad. Then there is Dwayne Pretorius, who's sitting out in this game. Mahesh Dikshana, the mystery spinner from Sri Lanka, is brought in for this game. So that is the news. CSK versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sunrisers Hyderabad have won the toss. They've opted to field first. A couple of changes for Sunrisers Hyderabad and 1 change for Chennai Super Kings. So yes, thankfully dew is not going to play a role. But the pitch says that the pitch report says that there is a bit of grass and moisture on the wicket, and it'll be good for batting. Now, like I said, Sunrisers have made 2 changes. Shashank Singh in place of Abdul Samad, and Marco Jansen has also been brought in place of Romario Shepherd. Nikhil?
Yeah, not surprising because Abdul Samad had failed with the bat in both the matches. They retained him, but he hasn't, yet done justice to his talent. So I'm not surprised he's been retained by Shashank Singh, who's a like-for-like replacement. He has a reputation in domestic cricket. He has a strike rate of above 140 in T20 domestic cricket. So he has experience. He's 30-year-old. Also, Marco Jansen will bring some variety into the attack. Tall left armour, did well against India, 6'7". Will get extra bounce, and Romario Shepherd, unlike his CPL buddy Odean Smith, hasn't really set the stage on fire. So I think Marco Jansen, who can also hit a long ball, will be a good addition in the team.
Though I still feel that the batting order will need to be changed. You may bring Shashank Singh in place of Abdul Samad. First of all, that in itself, to see that you retained Abdul Samad and just after 2 games you've dropped him. What is the message that you're sending to him? But at the same time, the team's not doing well, so you do need to make some changes. And that's where I'm interested to see that when Sunrisers Hyderabad bat, what will their batting order be? But also for Chennai Super Kings now, how important is this game? 3 games in a row for them that they've lost. Can they turn that around by winning against Sunrisers Hyderabad? Ravindra Jadeja as a captain has been good, but Ravindra Jadeja as a player, you expect more from him. And I wonder if the pressure of captaincy is one of the reasons. But then there is Ruturaj Gaikwad, who's struggled. A lot of hope put on him, given that he was the orange cap holder in the last season, was scoring runs in every match, but hasn't started well. Then there is Robin Uthappa, played a wonderful knock in one of the games, but again, the consistency, or rather the lack of it in batting, is a huge problem for them. They've gone in for Mahesh Dikshana, the mystery spinner. Nikhil, is it because Sunrisers, they've struggled against spin as well? Is that one of the reasons?
Also, I think they are not very confident of their, pace bowling battery. I think CSK as a unit over the years, when they've been successful, have been brilliant, especially at Chepak with their spin attack. And therefore, I think they want to just surprise everyone with this, again, new mystery spinner, Theekshana, who has the action of, the high arm action like Mendes. He's an off spinner, but he bowls the googlies, the wrong guns, conventional leg break. So he's not a wicket taker exactly, but he's a very restrictive bowler with the economy rate of just above 6. So Theekshana will be an interesting bet, and given SRH's record against spin, I think that is the reason they've got this mystery spinner.
I'm wondering who's going to bowl in the power plays, because that is their problem.
Big problem.
That was the problem in the 2 games that they've played. And now you've got Theekshana, who can play the holding role in the middle overs.
Jordan.
But Mukesh Chaudhary, you've not changed Mukesh Chaudhary, who's gone for a lot of runs.
Yeah.
Just hasn't impressed with his performance. Chris Jordan is your only bet, and then there is Dwayne Bravo, who of course is like your, one player who you can who you can give the new ball to, who you can ask to come in the death and bowl, and he'll do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, also if you want to slow the opposition, maybe Moeen Ali is an option. The off spin of Moeen Ali. I don't know whether SRH have a number of left-handers up the order, but even if that's not the case, Moeen Ali could be an interesting option. Don't give them pace up the order. So maybe Ali and Jordan, why not?
Okay, now let's take a look at what has been happening with the two teams. For Chennai Super Kings, top order has been a problem. It is 3 games, but top order has fired in 1. But after that hasn't been consistent, and specifically Ruturaj Gaikwad, 2 runs in 3 matches. When your batting is created around having you in mind as their main top, most consistent performer, and if he doesn't end up performing, things get difficult for you, and that's what's happening with Chennai. Also, Ravindra Jadeja, strike rate of 107. 1 wicket at an economy of 8. Struggling there.
Struggling there. I mean, Jadeja, last couple of seasons when he assumed this new role, new avatar of hitter for CSK, had a strike rate of around 180 and 200 in the death, amongst the highest in the IPL those 2 seasons. So clearly Jadeja is not the same hitter. Still early days, but he needs to contribute with the bat and the ball. Economy of 8 is not good enough. He needs to bring it down to 7.5, 7, less than that. There is pressure on him because 3 out of 3, it's not a good start. Dhoni, to step into Dhoni's shoes is not easy. One of the most successful captains in the history of international cricket, forget the IPL.
Yes.
So, and Gaikwad, I mean, I think he is truly missing someone like Faf. He needs that cushion at the top of the order. When Faf was there, you could see in the last couple of seasons how Gaikwad blossomed. He started slowly, but then even in the IPL 2-0 when CSK did not qualify, towards the latter stage, he came onto his own. And then, of course, what he did last season. He's missing someone of the stature of Faf du Plessis at the other end.
Yes, he is. But one thing that CSK can take heart from is the past record. If you look at their head-to-head record, CSK have a huge advantage. In fact, the record's completely skewed in favor of the Chennai Super Kings. And somewhere that can be seen as a psychological edge, given that CSK won 12 out of the 16 matches. That's huge.
That's huge. And it's surprising because SRH have been one of the most consistent sides in the IPL, with the exception of last year. They've made the playoffs almost every year since their inception. So for SRH to have such a skewed record against CSK is very surprising. It just shows how good CSK have been and what a champion side they have been under Dhoni.
Okay, also for Sunrisers Hyderabad, things are not going to be easy. They would want to win this game because both these teams have problems of their own. But look at Sunrisers Hyderabad. Abdul Samad, who's got 4 runs in 2 matches, made to sit out. First of all, you retained him. Before this auction even began, we're talking about why would you retain Abdul Samad and Umar Malik. That in itself was a huge mystery for us. And then you have Umran Malik, who's gone for an economy of 11. So you have bet on the wrong people. To let Rashid Khan go in the first place, David Warner, the way he was treated. Sunrisers have had issues from last season, but it hasn't gotten better. And then Kane Williamson, who's opening, I don't know whether he really is an opener and he needs to be there. He needs to come down the order and let someone else with better hitting abilities and better form and better space come and open for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this batting order needs a complete reshuffle, Maya. Williamson needs to bat at number 4, Markram at number 3. The openers, they need to be given a free license to go after the bowling. Washington Sundar needs to be promoted. Nicholas Pooran needs to contribute. He cannot contribute once, every 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Last year he failed. So Nicholas Pooran is extremely talented, perhaps the most talented West Indian in the middle order, but he needs to contribute. There's too much riding on him for this SRH side. So Nicholas Pooran for me is the key. He needs to contribute today.
Yeah, that's right. And also Nicholas Pooran did get off to a good start in the last game, and this is something that Brian Lara spoke about as well, the batting coach, who said that he needs to respect the bowlers from the opposition, and he tried to do that in the last game. But again, for this team to do well, there have to be at least 2 players who need to score consistently. Even if you have Nicholas Pooran towards the end to finish the innings and Ruturaj Gaikwad scoring consistently at the top, they still have a chance. Otherwise, things are going to get only worse from here on for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Remember, there are 10 teams in this tournament this time. Things are not going to be easy. Okay, now, we already talked about how Chennai Super Kings have dominated the head-to-head record. But what about the key battles now? Which are the little battles that we're looking forward to? One, of course, is Rahul Tripathi versus Chris Jordan. And this will be interesting, Nikhil, because Rahul Tripathi has a point to prove, hasn't got runs, and after the season that he had last year with KKR, he'd be raring to go to prove a point.
Yeah, I mean, he's expected to be their Mr. Consistent like he was for KKR last year. It hasn't started well for him this year, but I expect Tripathi to, be that pillar of strength for the team. Versus Chris Jordan will be very interesting in the power play, because Chris Jordan is perhaps the only good power play bowler the team has in the power play. Chris Jordan bowls a lot of, lot of Yorkers. He's also a specialist in the death overs. He had a great last match where he conceded 23 runs,
yes,
picked up 2 wickets. So Jordan versus Tripathi, I think is going to be a good battle in the power play.
The other two battles, Ruturaj Gaikwad versus Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Again, Bhuvneshwar Kumar in one match, I remember just the way he was moving the ball in the first match that Sunrisers Hyderabad played. It would be interesting to see, because if he can get Ruturaj Gaikwad early, then I think you've broken the camel's back.
Absolutely. I mean, Bhuvneshwar will swing the ball, and Ruturaj Gaikwad hasn't had a great start, and a fourth single-digit score, and that will really set the cat amongst the pigeons for CSK. If Gaikwad doesn't get any runs today, then there's a big problem. So Bhuvneshwar getting Ruturaj Gaikwad out in the power play will set the tone for the rest of the match.
Also, Ravindra Jadeja versus Nicholas Pooran, and if you see this matchup, it's interesting because it's 10 balls, 22 runs and 1 wicket at a strike rate of 220, Nikhil.
Yeah, I mean, so this is not surprising given that Jadeja's slow left-arm orthodox. The ball comes into Pooran, it's in his arc, so he can just go with the flow over mid-wicket. And that's what he's done in the 10 balls he has faced. This is going to be an interesting battle. I think CSK is shrewd enough, Jadeja is shrewd enough not to bowl to Pooran. I think he will wait till Pooran is at the crease, strategize like that. It's going to be an interesting strategy. But I think Jadeja will not bowl to Pooran. At least he won't want to, because it could be 1 or 2 overs in the middle overs could change the momentum of the match.
The other one being Mahendra Singh Dhoni versus Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and again in this one Mahendra Singh Dhoni is the one who can smile, and if he performs like the way he's performed in the past against Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because it's 97 runs, 49 balls, strike rate of 198. What's not to like about batting against Bhuvneshwar Kumar when it comes to Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
And this is a very surprising, head-to-head, because if you see Bhuvneshwar Kumar, he is one of the most consistent, economical bowlers in IPL history amongst fast bowlers. To have such a record against any batsman, so clearly this was Dhoni at his peak against Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and when he took BK to the cleaners in the death overs. So almost striking at 200. So I don't think it will happen again, because Dhoni is, not the same batsman as before, although he showed glimpses of his past in the first match. But I also think that Bhuvneshwar Kumar will bowl at least 3 overs in when he starts the innings in the power play.
Yes.
So I don't think he will have enough overs to bowl in the death overs.
Also the X factor now, the players who can make a difference, and for both the teams it is Washington Sundar and Shivam Dube. Both have been the more consistent performers, and that's why again I say Washington Sundar is somebody that they should look to open with, given that SRH's batting is not clicking at all. 40 runs off 14 balls versus Rajasthan Royals, and he's just looked good. He has looked good enough to open the batting against any opposition. So why not give him that spot? Absolutely.
I think if not open the batting, at least in the top 4 he should be promoted. Also, I think his bowling will be the key, because the CSK top 6 have 3 left-handers in Ali, Jadeja and Dube. So I think Sundar, the all-rounder, will be a big factor for SRH in this match.
That's right. So that is Washington Sundar. But what about Shivam Dube as well? Strike rate of 165 this season, and CSK's top scorer. And that also goes on to show how CSK have struggled if Shivam Dube has been their top scorer.
Absolutely. He's struck the ball cleanly. He's hitting a lot of sixes. Again, Like Sundar, I think Shivam Dube has to be promoted up the order. I think the likes of Ambati Raidu and all come lower down. Shivam Dube, I think, can bat at number 4 given the form he is in. And I think they need that. I think they need a disruptor in the top 4. And I think Shivam Dube should be that disruptor.
Okay, for all of you who are joining us now, let's get you the latest from DY Patil Stadium, where Sunrisers Hyderabad are playing Chennai Super Kings, and they have won the toss and have opted to field first. That is the news from DY Patil Stadium. Sunrisers Hyderabad have won the toss against Chennai Super Kings and have opted to field first. If you look at their head-to-head record, completely skewed in favor of Sunrisers Hyderabad, Chennai Super Kings. But can Sunrisers Hyderabad win today? They made 2 changes. Shashank Singh has come in. Marco Jansen has come in place of Romario Shepherd. Shashank Singh came in place of Abdul Samad. And then for CSK, they have brought in mystery spinner Mahesh Dikshana for Dwayne Pretorius. Again, an interesting choice, given Dwayne Pretorius didn't have a bad game. His last game wasn't as bad. So possibly wanting to shock the opposition by Mahesh Dikshana's mystery spin. Okay, now let's take a look at the playing 11 for the 2 sides, and we'll begin with Chennai Super Kings. Like we said, 1 change there, but if this team wants to do well, the top order needs to fire consistently, especially Ruturaj Gaikwad. There is pressure on him after Faf du Plessis left Chennai, but what does he do under pressure? Can he perform? Can he score runs? Because if he scores runs, the others, can come and go, come and join the party and leave. But 1 or 2 players here need to be consistent. Who are they going to be? Ravindra Jadeja himself, as a batsman and a bowler, hasn't really done well, hasn't found his feet so far. Dwayne Bravo, just the tremendous amount of experience that he has, still keeping him going with his bowling, batting, can't say the same. Then Chris Jordan and Mukesh Chaudhary. Chris Jordan, I would still feel that with Mahendra Singh Dhoni, what we've seen him do with Deepak Chahar, I feel like Chris Jordan's going down the same route, because I did see him bowl much better in the death.
Yeah.
And then there is Mukesh Chaudhary, who has honestly struggled so far in the tournament. So will Chennai Super Kings' fortune change tonight? We'll have to wait, or today, in fact, as the match starts in 2 minutes from now. Then let's take a look at Sunrisers Hyderabad's team. Again, the team itself on paper isn't the strongest, but if they do change the batting order around, I feel like they might find some kind of consistency there. Marco Jansen, I think a lot of people right from the beginning would have wanted him instead of Romario Shepherd, because we saw what he's done against India in South Africa. I mean, Indians struggled against him. So
the 2 left armers in the 11 now.
Correct. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, again, showed in the first game what he can do, but after that, not the best match for him. But also Kane Williamson, the pressure is going to be on him, Nikhil.
Yeah, he's failed in both the matches with the bat, and he is basically the pivot in the middle order. I mean, if he has to score at least 40 to 50, at least a striker of 120, 130, he cannot be getting out cheaply, because he is the star batsman in that lineup.
Yeah.
He is the world-class batsman. He's not the greatest T20 batsman, but he is good enough to score 40, 50 of 35, 40 deliveries. If he doesn't do that, then you don't get that playmaker in the middle order, and then there's a big problem. So he's the connect between the top order and the lower order.
That's right, but that's why I'm saying, why should he be opening the batting for them that come in the middle order and then be that connect? But yes, that is the news from the DY Patil Stadium. Which is the team that you're supporting today? Is it CSK or is it Sunrisers Hyderabad? Do let us know. Also, who is going to be the maximum run getter today? Who is the star performer? What do you think? Let us know in the comments section on our social media, on Facebook as well as on Twitter. Nikhil, this is actually a difficult one, because both teams have been so bad. You're wondering who will topple the other today.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me who will be the maximum run getter, today I'm going to go with Ruturaj Gaikwad. I think, he's failed enough. He failed in 3 matches. I think he's a good enough batsman. I think he'll score a 50 today. So I'm going with Ruturaj Gaikwad as a
Okay.
maximum run getter.
Okay. I think I'm going to go in with Robin Uthappa. The one match where I saw him just stonk the ball all over the field, I feel like Robin Uthappa, given the kind of performance we saw from Joss Butler at DY Patil, where he scored 100, why do I get a feeling it'll be Robin Uthappa? But we all can be proved wrong in in the next 5 minutes, because Gaikwad and Uthappa are opening the innings for Chennai Super Kings. So yes, who are you supporting? A lot of people are saying CSK. Where are all the Sunrisers Hyderabad fans? Who are you supporting from Sunrisers Hyderabad to do well? Let us know. And let's also just see what has happened so far. Okay, Bhuvneshwar to Uthappa 4, but that was an edge. I got a little excited thinking that, okay, Uthappa has gotten off to a good start. But that's right. Crucial now. Crucial for Chennai Super Kings. This is the most crucial period for them if they want to win this game, because I think it's their openers. If they can get them good start.
Yeah, I mean, given they may not have the best resources at the depth to accelerate, I think, a lot rise on Gaikwad and Uthappa. They need to maximize the power play, and the average score here is in the 160s. They need to get 170. They'll be comfortable defending 170, especially with the barrage of spinners in the 11. So I think important match for Gaikwad. He needs, he started slowly in the last tournament also, interestingly, and then he top scored with 600 plus runs. So let's see if this year follows the same pattern.
I also, when I did an interview with Robin Uthappa, and one of the things he said that he is just enjoying his batting, that the freedom that he feels when he is batting now, after having sort of fought the mental battle of depression, and just he feels that he'd lost a lot of time during that time, and that he wants to make up for it by playing well for Chennai Super Kings. So I feel we saw that in the way he batted when Chennai scored 210, I think. But since then, I do see him coming and playing a good knock. But then, I don't know. Maybe Bhuvneshwar Kumar will get a wicket, but I'm not going to jinx it. That's the head-to-head record for Chennai Super Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad, and it's completely skewed in favor of Chennai. 12 out of 16 matches they won. And you wonder how interesting is this, because I mean Sunrisers did have good seasons. It's not that they've not
very
had
consistent time. They made it to the playoffs almost every season except last year. So this is interesting rivalry, and today I think it's going to be 13-4. I think CSK is going to continue dominating SRH.
Will CSK continue dominating SRH? We'll find out, and we'll meet you at 6:30 on TV9 Bharatvarsh for a Hindi show on the match. The next match, remember, it's a double header. And then at 7 on News9 Digital and News9 Sports. And that News9 Sports at the bottom of your screens, that's what you need to subscribe to if you want to get the latest from the world of sports. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.